Someone needs to tell me where they got that. That is really cool. Hey everyone, it's Armor Gaming. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Monster Legends. Welcome to an exclusive first look at the brand new free Legends Pass monster, the BaroneX. Huge shout out to SP for giving me everything I need to make this video. They provided the monster cells all the way to take this monster to rank 5 level 150. Any gems I use will be reimbursed. And of course they also provided the food to feed this monster all the way to 150. The BaroneX had always been a tyrannical ruler who abused the few resources of the wastelands. Now, however, she's crossed the line by allowing Don Canine to leave all the Montown's trash in her region. She's done it for more power and a new name. As the BaroneX, she'll be able to keep on ruling in spite of her many detractors. So I guess now we kind of know how the Arrow Saga is going to go. She's going to make a deal with Don Canine. Time travel deals moderate mental damage to enemies, activates all cooldowns, and restores cooldowns on allies. Activates cooldowns on enemies and restores cooldowns. The skill itself makes it sound like it would activate Baby Reversion against the enemy team. But nonetheless, this is the BaroneX. I gotta admit, it is one of the coolest designs I've seen so far. Love the monster design. Let's talk stats though, because that's what really matters on a monster. So the power stat, 9,856. This is somewhere around the middle. It's titled that of Fruit Taster and Syntherist, just to give you guys an idea. The life stat is 112,798. This life stat is actually also in the middle, titled that of Don Canine. Funny we mentioned Don Canine because this monster is going to, I guess, compete with Don Canine. As for her speed stat, this monster is pretty fast. 7,425. It's second only to the Cobra that has a speed stat of 7,502. The Cobra can do AoE possession. Don Canine is next in line and Super Dream with a speed stat of 7,392. Those monsters, Don Canine activates cooldown and has a single stun skill. Super Dream has an AoE stun skill and also like a double stun single skill. So the reason I mentioned those monsters is because they are in the denier category. In terms of other monsters, we have Gekwen and Aquafiend. They have a 7,711 speed stat. Mr. Not Found is 7656, and then you have Ryclops and Jackpack at 7568. Now the thing is that Jackpack, being faster than BaroneX and Don Canine, he can actually do cooldown restoration and cooldown protection. But in terms of the denier class, this monster is the second fastest of the bunch. As for her trait, she starts the game off with hardened. Odds, non-negative effects have a 20% less chance to land against it. At rank 1, you get super attuned. You regain 50 stamina points when affected by the weak types. So anytime you get hit with a metal attack, you'll recover 50 stamina points. And as for your rank 3 trait, you get stamina leak against the enemies at the start of the battle. So already they're gonna be hit with a stamina leak. Now keep in mind, in PvP meta, and eventually I imagine we're gonna get a Metro Megaton monster. The minute there's a Megaton monster, they're gonna absorb this negative stamina leak against the enemy. So there's that to keep in mind. So overall, I'm not a big fan of the trait. Super attuned, I guess there's situations where it could come in handy, but overall it's not the best. Stamina leak against the enemy, honestly, not the best. You can cleanse, you have stamina regen and stuff like that, so it doesn't really matter too much. The best thing you have, I would say, is hardened. But let's talk about the skills. The first skill we have is Toxic Dust. Deals moderate metal damage to an enemy, applies stamina leak to an enemy. 24 stamina 0 cooldown. It's just a moderate metal attack that does leak. Behold My Staff removes 30% of stamina from a single enemy monster. This skill is spammable. Oh, I guess I see now why at rank 3 you have the stamina leak status caster at the start of the battle. It works with the stamina draining skills she has. Broken Timerion Device deals moderate metal damage and activates cooldown on a single enemy monster. 32 stamina 1 turn cooldown. Toxic Dust Storm deals low metal damage to all enemies and applies stamina leak to all enemies. So 1 turn cooldown, AoE stamina leak skill. We have Scrap Timerion Device, which deals low metal damage to an enemy, activates all cooldown on one enemy, and you give yourself an extra turn. So you are able to target 2 different monsters. Scrap Timerion Device, activate cooldowns on one monster, and followed up with Broken Timerion Device, activate cooldowns on another monster. Okay, let's see what else we have. Deadly Storm deals moderate metal damage to all enemies and removes 50% of stamina from all enemies. So you also have the option of activating cooldown on one enemy monster and followed up with a 50% stamina drain. And if they maybe have the stamina leak from your status caster, when it's their turn, they're also going to lose 15% of their stamina, so that's 65%. Moving on, you have Complete Timerion Device, which activates cooldowns on all of the enemy team. So in Grandmaster duels, considering this monster is faster than Don Canine, you're going to be able to go first, activate cooldowns on everyone, And then you can still follow it up with more cooldown activation and with a 50% stamina removal. So in the Grandmaster duels, this monster might be quite significant. Let's see, Deadly Torch deals moderate metal damage, and then you have 100% stamina removal. So you basically have quite a few options. After you do, so turn 1, assuming there's no Mega Taunt, you're probably going to complete Time Around Device against the enemy team. And on your next turn, you're probably going to do Scrap Time Around Device to activate cooldowns on the main threat that has a 1-turn cooldown skill. Or 2-turn, 1-turn cooldown skill. And then you can follow it up with a 100% stamina removal. So, overall, pretty great skill set, I would say. You have the option of activating cooldowns or stamina draining. I would honestly say you run your complete Time Around Device. You run your extra turn cooldown activation skill. You run your 100% stamina draining skill. And for that fourth and final skill, it's up to you if you want another AoE skill. Especially if maybe it's complete Time Around Device. Yeah, especially if you're wanting to use like Hidden Shiv and deal damage twice. You could do it with complete Time Around Device and again with Deadly Storm to have 2 AoE skills. Or I would say, personally, I prefer both cooldown activation skills. So this would be my skill set. But again, you could always fit it to fit your situation. But I like the AoE CDA. I like the 100% single and the 2 single CDAs. Wow, this actually has a 2-turn cooldown. Your AoE CDA has a 2-turn cooldown. That is pretty slow, especially considering this is an ET skill. So you can do this on turn 1. On turn 2, you can do Scrap Time Around Device and then Deadly Touch. And then you're actually able to do complete Time Around Device again. So you actually don't really need Broken Time Around Device the more I think about it. That's interesting. Do you want... I guess at that point, you probably could just go Deadly Storm and have another AoE skill that does 50% stamina removal. Especially if you have your stamina leak. Especially... Yeah, in those situations, I think that could make sense. I'm really trying to wrap my head around when will 50% stamina drain come that much in handy. Maybe you have some other allies to help you out. But yeah, for now, let's go with this. Deadly Storm, I'm iffy on. You could always swap it to fit the situation. Maybe you have a 0 cooldown skill just because you know Don K9 and other BaroneX are prevalent in the game. In terms of relics, of course, the monster can hold a staff, so you never have to worry about stamina. Look, I'm stealing from Don K9. And you can hold a trap. I'm stealing from Don K9 again. And in terms of your talents, this is one of those monsters I would honestly really consider putting a face shield. Because she can do stamina draining and activating cooldowns, I feel like this monster can basically change the direction of where the game is going. So for now, we're going to put face shield. This is pretty straightforward monster. It's a 3-speed kind of monster, depending on what the meta is, right? Right now, we live in an era of Megataunt, so you don't want this monster going first in a Megataunt era. In a Megataunt era, you want this monster with team speed. You want this monster to go second in the turn order. But assuming you're facing like a taunt monster, 2 attackers, a taunt denier, something like that where there's no Mega Taunt, yeah, you go first, you activate cooldowns, you're really fast. In Grandmaster Duel, that's what players are going to be utilizing. So yeah, this monster is set for now. So it's either 2 team speed and a single speed, it's 3 team speed. Right now it just really depends. If you're using this monster for wars, you swap runes to fit the situation. For PvP, you can't have this monster go first. You need someone else going first. A Ryclops that removes positive effects twice from the enemy team. Qiao Long, right? So let's actually go into PvP and let's see what this monster can do. And so unfortunately, this is the team I'm going to be utilizing. It sucks because I kind of need to run Mouse Run because if I'm not faster with my Qiao Long, I'm going to get denied by the enemy. And yeah, realistically, I would probably do an attacker. Yeah, it sucks right now the way the PvP is set up where pretty much every single opponent I face is going to have either a conventional Megataunt or a Pangoliath that is an issue. Or look, actually, I ran into someone that doesn't have it. But I also have Trophy dropped a bit, so we might not get the same type of opponents we would normally get. So let's assume I didn't have Qiao Long going first. A conventional battle might be something like this. Oh, I just realized it's dodge area, so here's actually a really good showcase of where the Scrap Time Around device actually really comes in handy. I am literally able to activate cooldowns on Viatrix, for example. I get an extra turn, and then see if I had that other 0 cooldown skill, that other 1-turn cooldown skill, I could use it. But in this case, I don't really care about Enrica. Let me activate cooldowns and Panion, and now that I think of it, I think he has 0 cooldown skills. But let me hold my breath. And then, as for this monster over here, Enrica, let me just take you down, absolute 0. Let me even punish the weak against you. Let's see, Panion. No, Panion did not have a 0 cooldown skill. Awesome. And then in terms of denial, I could follow up with 100% stamina drain. So look, now he's down to 0. Alright. And this was actually a really good showcase. I'm glad this was the battle we had. I'll do that. Let's recharge. Let's see if we can attack. Nope, he's still recharging. That's funny. I'll recharge here. Next turn, I get the CDA skill. I remove 50. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to recharge. I just realized I have quicksand. I'm going to die. And face shield did not save me. Alright, but this was actually a really good showcase of, even against a dodge area team, hey, I can single target you, I can move on to the next monster, single target you, or do the AoE. So that was really good. Alright, here's more of the conventional kind of battle in PvP right now. I imagine I'm going to lose this one actually. Falling Fire, Absolute Zero, yeah. Pangoliath, Lord Nabota's Spec. This is actually a very common team. My face shield kick in, but I'm not protected against Spec, unfortunately. King's Sword, and I'm still frozen for 2 turns. Let's see what happens when shot. Oh, thank goodness they're not going after my BaroneX. Alright, you're still alive. Alright, let's see what I could do. Corrupted Dragon, just to trade disable. Then I can activate cooldowns on everyone if I get a turn in. Alright, so I'm not frozen anymore. Nope, I died. I was so close. I was so close. So yeah, this is, in PvP alone, this is the kind of stuff you gotta counter. Depending what league you're in, I always tell players, like, what's good in one league might not necessarily be good in another league. So if you're a newer player out there and you're like maybe in the Golden League, oh, you can definitely use 3-speed BaroneX. I imagine most new players aren't going to have a Megaton monster. Then again, we did have that Hammergrom event, but I think you'll be okay. Here I'll go Ignorance is Bliss. And then look at that. That monster did not get hit with freezing because he can't get frozen. But let's see. Can he recover stamina? It doesn't look like it. So in this case, I obviously don't want to get reflected. So I am actually just going to go ahead and do, where is my 100% stamina removal? So take that. So we're shutting down Crow Electric. Here we'll do Hold Your Breath. Here let's Corrupted Dragon. So now we can actually deny Crow Electric. Although I don't even have a deny skill like a freeze or anything. Here I am actually going to go ahead. Let's see. Why do you have Skill Mirror? Is it from Crystal Form? Yeah, it is. So here I'm actually going to go ahead and do, what should I do? You're no longer frozen. So let me, let me blast the AoE since it'll go to Mouse Run anyways. So there's that. Alright, no mercy. Oh, he has a 0 cooldown skill. Let's do Punish the Weak now that we can land dots. Recharge. Alright, so we are going to recharge. Now, Lord Nabota's actually has 0 cooldown skill as well. 50% stamina drain. Let me activate cooldowns on Lord Nabotis. And then let me do 100% stamina drain on Qiao Long. Do you have... He has a Masher Staff. Ah, awesome. Oh, wait, no, that one recovers stamina too. When the turn starts, if warrior stamina is below. Okay, never mind. Let me go with... let's do it anyways. I know he's going to recover. Forgotten. Let's get some dots on him. King of Atlantis. Or not. Ignorance is Bliss. I guess we'll just reinstate that. Masher Staff. Forgotten. Absolute Zero. This is where I'm kind of like, that 50% stamina removal, like how beneficial is it if lots of monsters can recover stamina? But I guess it worked out in this case. Let's do Forgotten. Let's Punish the Weak over here. Get a bunch of dots on you. I think I can activate cooldowns, complete time around device. That'll shut them down. Except for him, he does have that 0 cooldown skill as I mentioned earlier. So part of the game is knowing what 0 cooldown skills the enemy monsters have and what they don't have. Here, let's exit out since I lost BaroneX. I think we're just going to take BaroneX maxed out to 150. She's a pretty straightforward monster, and unfortunately in PvP specifically with so many Megaton monsters, it's hard to showcase what she can do. Because at the end of the day, it's literally just, let me activate cooldowns. She's a control monster, right? She controls the game, she denies the monster from attacking. So that's her main purpose. In PvP with Megatons, ever since Megaton got released, the deny meta got removed, but it really feels like SP is trying to bring him back. And I'm assuming that's why they have not yet released a Megaton Metro monster. Because literally, with the last monster, the Corrupteds, they released a Megaton monster like right away that players were able to get, right? Mouseron, yeah, he was the exclusive monster, and then we got the Hammergroms and everything. And even before then, we got Bombeta like right away. But let me just take this monster to 150, and then we will come back for the rest of the video. Alright, so here is the BaroneX at level 150, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of Absolute Zero, and we're going to try running Smite. Any mirror matches with the Qiao going second in the turn order that's running Absolute Zero is going to freeze me, but we'll see if it works out. So all we have is Hammergrom, so that is perfect, so we'll do Ignorance is Bliss. Alright, there we go. Now I'm going to get hit with a trade disable, unfortunately. Oh, I did not. Awesome. So here's conventionally, once again, activate cooldowns. Enemies pretty much shut down. Watch, I'll recharge with all of my monsters, and watch as they are probably going to recharge with all their monsters. Unless they're running 0 cooldown skill. So recharge, recharge, recharge. See? That's typically how it goes. And on your next turn, well, in this case, I could go ahead and do the 50%. So now they're all down to 0. Let's see if anyone has stamina regen relics. No, recharge. And what about Hammergrom? Let's see, Hammergrom, Root Child's Armor. Yeah, just a recharge as well to get stamina. Alright, they went into some dots. They hit me with a poison AoE. Let's go Ignorance's Bliss. Let's activate cooldowns again, and what you'll see them recharge. So for those of you wondering, sometimes when newer players play the game and they have this skill that activates cooldown, they're like, why is the enemy still attacking? It's because of 0 cooldown skills, which in this case they do not have. Here, 100% stamina drain, and yeah, she's a control monster. She controls the battle, and she has a killer design. Never have to worry about. Oh, what the heck! I just realized that. Look, it's Don Canine on the staff. That is adorable. Pup Canine. Alright, we'll do like 2 more battles and we'll see how it goes. Ooh, that animation is really cool. Is that a new one? I have not seen that one. Look at that. That is tight. Someone needs to tell me where they got that. That is really cool. Alright, anyhow. Ignorance is Bliss and Smite, so trade disable. Let's see how this goes. Pure Implosion. I would get babified. Alright. Armor of Duty, Corrupted, Punish the Weak, Forgotten here. Let's land some dots, hopefully. Nanovirus, Quicksand. Awful Dreams. Alright, here's the Face Shield in effect. Boom! 2-turn evasion and positive effect protection. Although Pure Pandalf could get rid of it if he wants to. Let's see, Blessing. Come back to life. You're free to play turn transfer. Okay, cool. So I am staying alive. Alright, I'm back. And then here is the CDA. We'll start off with that. Oh, I just saw that. Cooldown protection. Well played, Pure Pandalf. Well played. BaroneX, you're going to get slaughtered. Alright, so looks like I am going to go with Master Staff is used up. He has 0 cooldown skill, so I'm in trouble. Gosh, I don't know what to do. Well, Deadly Storm nonetheless. Alright, let's see what happens. Unholy Vigor. Alright, Face Shield protecting me yet again. I'm dazed, I have nightmares, I have shock. We will go with removes fit. I don't need to do anything. Activate cooldowns. Let's activate cooldowns on Pandalf. It'll give a turn to Lord Nabotis. But then I can do my 100% stamina drain against Lord Nabotis, so that's fine. Or I can activate cooldowns on everyone. Yeah, let's activate cooldowns on everyone. They have to recharge. Let's remove 100 from you. Let's Black Bite you. If we can just take 1 down. Ah, that Pain Distiller. Alright, AoE 50% stamina drain. Hey, it's coming in handy. Watch, wait, learn, and I am dead. Ah, it was worth a try. Overall, though, that animation avatar is cool. Maybe I do have it, or maybe it's an exclusive one somehow. I gotta take a look. Alright, so let's end off with this last battle. Let's see. Pangoliath. Oh, man. Alright, Ignorance is Bliss. And then we'll trade disable him. So, unfortunately, that evasion is going to stump me. Yeah, there's not much I can do, unfortunately. I'll just waste my AoE cooldown activation. Falling Fire, and unfortunately killed me. Well, again, as I mentioned earlier, it's not a monster you could really showcase because of the Megaton meta. But in any situation where there's no Megaton and you can go and activate cooldowns, or if you can go first, you know who you're fighting, like in worse situations, she's definitely going to be usable in worse situations where you can go cleanse whatever you need to cleanse, get rid of the Megaton, and then go and activate Deny and control the game. But with that being said, guys, that is going to be it. This is our free-to-play Legends Pass monster, the BaroneX. There will be an Era Saga for her in a couple of days, so be on the lookout for that. And with that being said, guys, I'm Armor Gaming. Thank you all for watching. Huge shout out to SP for giving me everything I need to make this video, and remember to subscribe.